Welcome back to your NFL 2013 Week 2 review and analysis. The game I want to break down, obviously, is the only game that's been played, and it's the Patriots. The Jets coming to Foxborough to play the Patriots. Very, very ugly game. Both offenses look sloppy. Tom Brady just couldn't get the receivers outside of Edelman. Looked pathetic. Dotson did have that one and only touchdown in the first drive, but outside of that, it was a lot of drops by him. Some of the other receivers, Tompkins was dropping some passes. Edelman was the only reliable target. He had 13 receptions for 78 yards. Brady dropped back the pass 40 times, and he dropped back the pass 40 times. He was 19 of 40, 185 yards, one touchdown, no picks. That's seeing as a guy who has been a very in terms of his rating, has been a very accurate quarterback. These first 2 weeks have not been good for him. You could tell watching the game that he was very frustrated. The receivers outside of Edelman, he really started to lose faith in those guys. And it's not just them. They had some drops, but he had a couple downfield throws where he just missed open guys. He had plays where he was throwing the ball behind guys. A lot of it comes with communication with receivers, also with receivers dropping the ball. But you got to put some on it. He has to take some of the blame definitely. When you overthrowing guys, underthrowing guys, making it difficult for them to catch the ball. The whole Patriots offense looked sloppy. The running game could not get started. The running game was very poor. Ridley 16 carries, 40 yards, is 2.5 average. They really struggled to run game. Hats off to that Jets front seven for really slowing down the run game, not getting many running lanes. That Patriots, last year they had one of the better blocking offensive lines, but today, that Jets front is very good. Defensively, what I saw from the Patriots, they they started out the game, couldn't really get pressure on they couldn't really get pressure on Geno Smith, but Geno Smith's receivers weren't helping him. They couldn't get pressure on him. They struggled with stopping the run, which I see as a big surprise because last year they were good. They were good against the run. Spikes, Mayo, Wilford, Chandler Jones, Hightower. You expect these are some big guys. You expect these guys to be better than that against the run. Yet again, hats off to the Jets. With the offensive line and how they got to the quarterback. Block for Bilal Powell and Bilal Powell and Chris Ivory both combined for 100 yards. They had a total of 129 yards, and they ran the ball 32 times. So that was a mix of both run and pass. Of course, the Patriots defense came up with some big plays. Talib had 2 interceptions off some 2 bad throws by Geno Smith. Alfonso Denard also had a pick off another bad throw. Those three interceptions was definitely the highlight for the Patriots defense. Also, Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones and Rob Ninkovich were the only 2 guys who consistently, when they did get pressure, there were only 2 guys that actually did get pressure. Let's see. Tommy Kelly had a sack. That was really all he did. Chandler Jones, in that third quarter, they started to get a little pressure. He had 2 sacks. Michael Buchanan had a sack. But for the most part, they struggled against the run. Wilfork did not have a good game. They did a great. The Jets offensive line did a great job, as I said, getting pressure on. Said it again. blocking for those running backs. So hats off to the Jets offensive line, which I thought was a very, coming into the season, I thought was a very poor offensive line. But they did show that they can still run block. Um, the Jet side, Geno Smith struggled. He had moments where you say, well, yeah, those are some nice throws. Then he had, of course, those three boneheaded throws. He was missing guys, but he showed promise. His receivers also didn't help. Stephen Hill had a fumble. Yeah, Stephen Hill had a fumble, caught the ball, he fumbled. He had a couple drops. Um, there's some other guys dropped some passes. Um, so, Geno Smith didn't have a great game by any means. But his receivers were dropping some passes. I mean, offenses for both ends, were dropping passes. He was 15 of 35, 214 yards, the three INTs. Really cost the Jets this game. They were in it. Both offenses struggled. So the Jets were ending near the end. They just couldn't generate. The passing attack couldn't move the ball, mainly because of mistakes. Um, the running game, as I said, was probably the highlight. They kind of went away from it too much. Um, you know, I think they should have ran it a little bit more, seeing that they were having success against the Patriots' offensive line. Defensive line. Um, Corey, Corey Ivory, Bilal Powell. They were, they Corey Ivory with 12 carries, 52 yards, 4.3 average. Bilal Powell, 13 carries, 48 yards. So it was more of by committee. Those are the two guys that got majority of the carries. But hopefully you see this from down the line for the Jets. Like as I said with the receivers, it was a struggle. Stephen Hill 4 receptions for 86 yards. No one got into the end zone. San Antonio Holmes, was very limited, but he did play more than he played last week. He had 3 receptions, 51 yards. Clyde Gates with 2 receptions, 42 yards. After that, it's really nothing. The Jets defense, I really like. I really like that defense, especially Muhammad Wilkerson, Kendrick Ellis, and Sheldon Richardson. I like that defense. They did a good job of stuffing the run. Um, Wilkerson did get hurt near the end of the game. It was an ankle injury, but from what I saw, with those three guys up front, and then include with the linebackers, they're definitely going to have one of the better run defenses. Because those guys were plugging the running lanes. The blockers for the Patriots could not move them. The problem was they could not get pressure on Brady, but it didn't matter because Brady's receivers did not help him. Um, Also, I would say that's really the only thing. They couldn't get pressure on Brady, but Brady didn't have a great game by any means, but they did a great job against that run. Like I said, that defensive line is going to be beast. They're going to be a top 10 run defense. I can definitely give them that. Um, and for the most part, I think the difference in this game, you know, for the Patriots winning, you have to look at the 4 turnovers. The Jets fumbled by Stephen Hill and 3 picks um, by Geno Smith, and the last pick that pretty much ended the game when they were trying to drive down the field and either tie or win the game. Um, the 4 turnovers killed them, especially the last pick. They were started to move the ball, then turnovers. So like I said, very ugly game. Not really much to cover. Both teams look very sloppy. Um, the Patriots, are they in trouble? And I probably might make another video. You know, uh, I'm probably not tonight, but the Patriots, I don't know. They look like they're in trouble. Now Amendola for 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. No, I believe they're gonna have Gronk back week 3, but he's coming off an injury. Um, Edelman, can he stay healthy? Because he took a lot of big hits. And can those other receivers step up? Um, Dobson, Tompkins, can these other guys step up? Can the running game get started? I believe will they have Shane Vereen back? They really missed him in terms of the running game. The offensive line just did not block. They pass protected pretty well, but in terms of run blocking, they didn't do a good job. Hats off to that Jets defensive line for really just stuffing the run. But if you watch this game, if you actually stayed up, because this game did put a lot of people to sleep. Um, yeah, the game, not because it was a low scoring game, but it was just sloppy. The turnovers, the drop passes on both ends. It was pathetic, actually. I mean, going back and actually watching that game, God, you just face palm at just all the mistakes, the bad throws by both quarterbacks. Like I said, if you watch this game, let me know what you think. Hit that thumbs up button and enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the rest of the week of games. Um, I will be doing reviews for the other games. Definitely starting out with my Carolina Panthers. I believe they play the Buffalo Bills, so I definitely will be doing a review on that. Thanks.